What's up, y'all? It's your girl Chanel from Complex Simplicity. Happy Tuesday, going into Wednesday. Almost Thanksgiving. I can't believe it. Like, these holidays just fly by. I remember Thanksgiving of 2017. Now it's like already Thanksgiving of 2018. So happy Thanksgiving to all. I pray that you have a blessed week, that you have an amazing time with your loved ones, family, friends. And yes, happy Thanksgiving. I work tomorrow, so I'm gonna get rolling with this vlog. I definitely had a day off, which was great. And I work tomorrow, then off for Thanksgiving, and then I work like 5-6 days straight from that. So I'm gearing myself up for the madness and mayhem that is going to ensue. I do work Black Friday. I think I have to be to work for like 6:30 a.m. And from then on, it's like holiday season, and so I'm gearing myself up for all of what that means. Other than that, I had a very relaxful, productive day. I stayed in the bed until like the afternoon, but I was still handling business on the iPad, researching a million and one things, also trying to research Christmas gifts for my husband. He deserves an amazing Christmas, and I will see to it that he gets it. And then aside from that, working on music, it's, that time of year again for me. Had an amazing time recording the other day, and I'm glad that the song that I'm recording is actually really putting me to the challenge. Everything didn't come as easy as it did with the first project, with this first song that I'm working on. A good friend of mine, a brother from another, supplied me with a dope track, and it's pushing me to be better, and I appreciate that. So today I spent some time tweaking that song, tweaking my songwriting, vocals and all of that. I also dedicated some time to dancing because, Move with Finesse. I just put a blast out there for those who follow me on Instagram at ComplexSimplicity09, as well as my personal Instagram page. I'm going to put it on my Facebook pages. Just letting everyone know we did undergo a few changes. We went from 3 to 2 choreographers, and we're here to finish what we started. I'm all about finishing the mission, accomplishing the goal at hand. And so we wish our fellow girl the best of wishes to you, Keita. But my girl, me and niece, we were on this train and we ain't stopping. So I was able to spend some time editing a few clips and, putting a little tickler out there, very dramatic movie trailer style, playing around with iMovie and all that it does and can do. This way, we let everybody know we didn't just come on the scene, do one dance class and fall and disappear. Sometimes things don't always go as planned or intended, but you keep it pushing, hence the Destiny's Childs of the world, hence many groups, many duos, trios, quadruples. And so no love lost. Our girl's still our girl. We love her dearly, but we're continuing to move forward with Move with Finesse. And so you please keep it locked. Go to @MoveWithFinesse on Instagram for all updates. You can also, those of you who are always on @ComplexSimplicity09, you'll also get updates there as well, so that we can have this experience with you. We explained that it's so much more than just a dance class. It's so much more than the choreography. It's about the experience. It's about creating a safe, creative, empowering, encouraging space where creativity can dwell without judgment and fear. And so it's just so much more of a deeper meaning and deeper purpose than just having a dance class. Don't get me wrong, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna, be our best as we can, do our best. But we just wanted to kind of put out there what we're about. I don't think from our introductory videos, it was very clear what our movement was about. It was more about what we brought to the group, which was great. But this time around, we're gonna be making it very clear about what the whole purpose of Move with Finesse is. And of course, anything that is attached to complex simplicity is always going to be a deeper meaning. It's not going to just be what you see at eye level, at surface level. I'm all about enriching, empowering, encouraging, learning, growing. And so me and my girl niece, we're ready to come to a dance studio near you where we can have great experiences. Please note the choreography is beginner level. We're not out here trying to audition for Juilliard or be at that level. We're definitely beginner level choreography, and then we grow and go from there. So just letting you know, keep that locked. Now on to the purpose of today's vlog. As I was in my bed relaxing, I'm on my feet all the time, so when I'm off, I try to spend a good duration of time being off of my feet, having my feet up. So I was in my bed, and I was like, okay, Chanel, we need to put up an encouraging, thought-provoking kind of post on Instagram and Facebook for Complex Simplicity. And once again, I stumbled on just how social media, y'all, it's going to be the detriment of all of us if we are not careful. I don't even know why this topic has been on my mind lately. I know I tackled it maybe in my earlier years of building Complex Simplicity on my website, but it's been a while since I've revisited this conversation, and I'm like, you know what? Let's go back at it, but attack it from a different angle. So what I was doing a little research and looking different thoughts up, and looking up the psychology once again behind social media, because I truly believe social media was and is designed not necessarily to make the world a better place. Yes, to keep us connected in some shape or form, but I also really believe it was designed to feed the narcissistic beast that dwells within all of us. And what I was reading actually talked a lot about how social media, if we're not careful, could affect our mental health. Now, we all know narcissistic behavior. It's something that all of us could kind of fall privy to if we're not careful. Maybe not necessarily to like the textbook, DSM. I don't know if they're in the 5 or 6 right now. I'm kind of far removed from the psychological world as it pertains to like the book side of it. But we all may not be that classic picture when describing the actual diagnosis of what narcissism is all about, what it looks like, what it entails, right? However, there are certain traits of it I strongly believe we all easily could fall victim prey to if we're not careful. The article I was reading was even going as far as to say, taking selfies, receiving a lot of positive interactions and likes and comments under your posts, your Insta stories, what that does to the brain when it comes to like the endorphins and different things that happen. Like, it literally sounds like a physiological, I always say that word wrong, you get what I'm saying? Like, it literally is something chemically happening. And if we're not careful, like, even just on a normal level, right? I always like to use myself as an example because I'm very much so a part of the conversation. And so I notice when I have more idle time on my hands, or maybe when my husband's working overnight shifts or working a lot of shifts, it's easy for me to always want to fiddle and reach for my phone. Even when he is around, I'm like on my phone checking my social media. But I notice when he's not around, it's even more easier and likely for me to be checking my social media, right? I'm probably posting more frequently when he's not around. When my husband's around, I may not be posting as frequently. Why, some may say? Because we're interacting. We're in real time, real life, watching some of our favorite TV shows, or I'm cooking dinner. I'm more of in the moment of what's going on in my household. That's not to say that I'm not checking my phone and looking to see what's going on, so to speak, but I notice that I'm a lot more in the moment when my husband's home, right? When I'm out with friends, I really am not on the phone like that. When I'm on date night with my husband, I'm not on the phone like that. I'm purposefully in the moment. And I even notice, even, with my friends, even sometimes with my husband, it's very easy to like any idle time, a commercial break comes on, or if we're out and about and it's a little bit of downtime, maybe the conversation is not as riveting, reaching for phones, all of us, right? Or maybe we're having the dopest time ever and we feel the need or the sense to capture it. Like everybody else who follows us needs to know we're out, or needs to know this is what I'm doing, needs to know I'm at an engagement party, needs to know I'm in the club turning up, needs to know I'm with my boo thing, it's date night. I'm guilty of all these things. The examples that I'm using are my examples, things that I've done, right? And so lately, I've been finding myself being a lot more aware of that within myself, and maybe also because at my job, I don't keep my phone on me. When I'm on the floor, I'm not supposed to be on my phone. I'm supposed to be interacting with customers and clients, and I'm supposed to be managing what's going on, right? So if I'm the manager that's in the building, then I definitely need to be aware of what's going on in the store. It's not just about me selling, but it's also about me making sure the associates who are working with me are good, making sure whatever needs to be done for the business is good, right? In those moments, I probably should have my phone on me, or I'll have it at one of the registers that's like a little bit behind the floor. This way, if someone who's due to come in for their shift is running late and they're trying to contact me as the manager to let them know they're running late, then that's something that I can address, right? But for the most part, like if my superiors are present, oh, you best believe my phone is in the back with my belongings. All my loved ones know. Really trying to contact me throughout the day is going to be a hit or miss because I can't be on my phone. So they know if it's a real emergency, they'll know to call the store, or they'll know how to reach me, right? Call my husband, whatever may have you. But so I think me not being in a place of business or my new job where my phone is attached to my hand, it also helped me to kind of separate myself a bit. So I miss a lot of what's going on. If I'm doing an 8-hour shift, and I only get a 45-minute break halfway, a little more than halfway into my shift, then I missed a lot of what's been going on in internet land, social mediaville as I call it. And I find that I care a lot less. So to my peoples out there, my friends, if you're like, yo, why she ain't watching my stories, or why she's not commenting or liking things, love is love, no beef in the streets. I'm just not as interested, and I'm literally working all the time for the most part. And so I'm really not on my phone. And then when it's time to catch up, I may look a little bit and then I want to watch my shows, or I'm spending time with my husband, or maybe maybe in my own way, I'm kind of like unplugging myself. I'm kind of getting over it. I feel like it's the same song and dance. If it wasn't for me trying to build this brand, I probably would be on social media a bit less, if I'm honestly speaking. At this point, sometimes, even with my own loved ones, I could get a little turned off, and they may feel the same way with me when I have moments of posting more than usual or doing more Insta stories than I'm really known to do. Sometimes after a while, it's just like, okay, we get it, I find myself looking for more empowering, encouraging words, not really into watching the silliness, or things that are not going to necessarily add to my life. Even on my personal pages, I'm trying to be more cognizant of, not just putting crap out there. If I do put something out there that does have some level of profanity, you best believe there's some type of a deeper message behind it. Like I think I put up of Aaliyah Janelle, a dope choreographer that's killing the game right now, LA based. I think I had put something up recently on my Insta stories, a brief clip towards the end of one of her dance classes, and she's just talking about how at the end of the day, anybody can have many, like there are hundreds, thousands, probably millions of people that have dance classes, right? So that's not necessarily what it all should be about, right? Anybody, you can go to any class and learn choreography, right? You can learn from the best of the best, you can learn from the worst of the worst, you can learn from the in-betweens. But at the end of the day, it's about you being willing to be balls to the wall. She didn't say that, but I'm paraphrasing. Be balls to the wall, take risks, and be confident in the giftings that you have and go forth in whatever it is that you're trying to do. I think I'm also combining this with another clip I have of her that I didn't put up yet, where she talks about pretty much everybody offers classes. You can get classes, dance classes anywhere, right? But it's really about the experience. And I saved that clip and I'll probably post it soon. And she definitely expresses herself using profanity, which I don't take offense by. I try to limit how much I do put it out there on my personal and public pages. However, I understand and felt her sentiments because this is the very thing I've been thinking, feeling, and expressing to people in my world, people I work with, people I'm friends with, as far as just the way that I operate. And so because I'm not about wasting any more time, not about just sitting here and letting my dreams pass me by, being too afraid to take risks, jumping off the cliff, as I say, because I'm not afraid to do those things. When I hear someone else who's killing the game say those very same things, it just reaffirms to me that I'm not crazy. And just to go off on a tiny bit of a tangent, sometimes when you have creative differences with your loved ones, or even sometimes the people I work with, we may not always see the same bigger picture of the world in a similar way. Sometimes it can have you, because I'm the type of person where I like to reflect and I like to try to see things from other people's perspectives and not just shut them down because we have a different way of seeing this situation. But when I hear people who are doing great and amazing things sharing the very sentiments that I've shared in creative difference conversations or professional conversations where we may have differences of opinions, I'm just like, yeah, girl, you're not crazy. Like, always stick with your gut feeling. You're not crazy. There is some kind of wisdom behind a lot of what you say. And that's not to like blow smoke up my own ass, but just me understanding that there is perhaps some kind of, and I always do this, I'll like use a curse word and then go into a spiritual realm. Jesus, please forgive me. But there is like some level of a spiritual gift that I do believe I have as it pertains to wisdom, right? I've spoken about this many times. Feel like I've gotten it from my mom. When you're raised with a parent who's very wise or parents who are wise, it does something to you, right? I don't know it all. I still have a lot to learn, but I'm confident in my ability to see the bigger pictures, to see the forest from the trees, and to have great insight, right? And so when I hear other people doing amazing and great and dope things, share the same sentiments that I've shared, it's just like, girl, keep on keeping on with your train of thought and your path and your formula. And so I posted a clip of Aaliyah Janelle, pretty much talking to those things, more so about taking risks. And so even in my personal social media, even on my personal social media pages, I make an effort to have some kind of a message. I think today I was watching The Real, an episode from yesterday, and Jennifer Lewis was on. Y'all know I love me some Jennifer Lewis. I listened to her book, which was great. And I did a vlog on it and a whole ordeal. She actually commented under my Instagram post about the vlog. She's dope, right? And so she was on The Real, I think yesterday. It was aired yesterday. And she was just talking about how, she's always a big advocate of mental health awareness and just sharing her story of having bipolar disorder and just, her story in general, which is why I keep saying to folks, please read or listen to her book. It's great. But anyway, she was speaking to, you try to help people, but at the end of the day, some people, you just got to remove yourself. You can't help people who don't want to be helped. And, she said it in a Jennifer Lewis way that was so funny, yet, it hit you where you needed it to hit you. And so I like to be able to post things like that. Chad loves Michelle, the love story of Chad and Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child. And another person who's a mental health awareness advocate and who shared their vulnerable story of depression and things of that nature. I'm trying to make it a point to have something even still inspirational that is not only going to be on Complex Simplicity social media, but also my own personal social media, because I am Complex Simplicity. Complex Simplicity is me, Chanel Casimir, right? Or even just, I posted a clip of me, you know, working on tweaking a song, or, you know, finish writing a song, you know, like, I always try to speak to the grind, the hustle, how it never stops, like work ethic. And so, yes, I'll hit you with music that I love because I'm a music lover. Yes, I'll hit you with movies that I love, like a Love Jones if it comes on TV. But I also try to have like meaningful things to say on my social media. And just going back to the overall topic of this vlog, you know, if we're not careful, depending on the pages we're following, the people we're following, a lot of this stuff that people are putting out there on their own platforms, which everybody has the right to do what they want to do, right? We have to make sure that it's not something that's going to affect us negatively, right? You know, I get it. Some things are for laughs and giggles and humor. You know, some things are just that negativity, you know, of fights and people just degrading one another and treating one another horribly. It all depends on what we're actually following and constantly looking at. And then even aside from that, I think just knowing that real life exists and that we should not always have to be on our phone and or computer, iPad screens to like see what's going on with the world around us. Like, are we really living in the moment, y'all? I'm asking myself this question as I'm asking you. Are we living in the moment? Are we, when we're with our loved ones, forgetting about our phones, throwing that bad boy to the side and like being in the moment? Or are we busy trying to document everything that's going on? Are we busy trying to show everybody else what we're doing, where we're at, who we're with, what we're wearing? I get it, you know, but at some point I think we all have to be mindful of just how much we are allowing ourselves to be entrenched in social media. For those of us that are trying to build brands, those of us that are, you know, on certain career paths where social media is a necessity, are we using it in the best way possible? You know, I've been asking myself that for the past few weeks, you know, watching free webinars, trying to figure out ways to grow my tribe, grow my community of people, right? You know, it's not an easy thing to do. I get that what I do is for a particular type of people who are into bettering themselves and kind of like self-help world, even though I hate to kind of refer to it as that. But like, you know, people who want more for themselves, want to love themselves, want to follow their dreams, you know, want to understand areas within their life that needs to be worked on, want to have self-awareness. Like, I get that that's not going to be everybody's interest and everybody's plight. So my brand that I'm building is not for everyone, and I'm cool with that, right? But building it, you know, building my social media, that is, has been a challenge, you know, because the stats that I get on my website are super high. Like, if the stats that I got on my website equated the level of followers I have on my social media, I'd be killing the game out here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to understand what the disconnect is with that. At the same time, I'm glad that people are going to the site because that's where the meat and potatoes are. You know, the social media is just a vehicle to get you to the website. But still, I understand how powerful social media is, and I'm trying to master that, which I still feel like is a simple formula that is right in front of my face that I'm close to, but still yet so far from, you know? So I get it. You're building brands. You have to be on social media. You have to be aware of certain things. You have to be interacting. I get that, you know? But then the other side of me that takes off the entrepreneur hat when I'm in my home life is like, okay, maybe we don't need to like plug ourselves into everything that's happening, you know, in internet land. For there to be legitimate like mental health disorders that can be agitated, maybe there's something that's already potentially there, and excessive being on social media can agitate it, or maybe it could just start to create things, you know, like social media is actually an addiction for many, you know, so it's like, it's real like fine line, slippery slope. And, you know, for some reason today I was like, even Chanel, you have to like, for yourself, like monitor certain things. Like Thanksgiving is coming up. Please don't sit here and try to capture all these moments of Thanksgiving. Be with your family, enjoy your family. wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and keep it pushing. Like, maybe if you want to feel the need to put something up, put one thing up, but does it need to be this excessive thing? Like, does everybody need to see the spread on the dinner table? Does everybody need to see who you spent Thanksgiving with? Like, are all those things that necessary? You know, I think we should ask ourselves these questions. I don't know. I ask myself these questions all the time. I really don't feel the need for every aspect of my life to be documented, and I don't document every aspect of my life. There's some pretty dope and cool things I experience that never make it onto social media. When my husband and I take vacations, I make it a point to be in the moment and not on Instagram while I'm in Barbados or Jamaica or wherever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll come back and share a little something with everybody, but like in the moment, I'm in the moment with my family, with my husband, whoever I'm with. Like, I'm not gonna be like Snapchatting. I don't even have that app. Or Insta stories for what I'm doing, where I'm at. Like, to me, be in the moment. Like, what am I trying to prove and to who? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just that slippery slope. Millennials, I get it, it's tough, but for those of us that are like at the end of the millennial age, we're in our 30s and beyond, I think we definitely have to start asking ourselves, why do we find or deem it necessary to have to document our life in this way? And to be careful, narcissism is a very real thing. Like, for some, it'll affect their self-esteem if nobody is paying attention to anything you're posting. If your numbers are low, nobody's commenting or liking, watching. Like, I just feel like it's a recipe for disaster, like, in some ways, a formula to make all of us feel like our self-worth is based on what everybody else feels about what we're portraying and posting, which brings me to another point that many say. We all know that a lot of people perpetrate lives on social media. It's not all of what it really is, and maybe for some, they love it because it helps them to have this narrative that's very different from their actual life. But my thing is, work harder on making your life what you want it to be, as opposed to portraying something that it's not. Why do we care what everybody thinks to that degree? Like, you don't pay my bills. You're probably not praying for me when I need it the most, right? You may not even wish me well on a normal day, right? So why do I really care about what you really think and feel about me? You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to kind of put that out there and address it and take the temperature with this topic again, because I think when I addressed it in a vlog or maybe like an audio recording 2 years ago, I really feel like things have even gotten worse with social media now. And I more so follow celebrities more than day-to-day people, but then I even find myself getting annoyed with them, because it's like, why do you guys feel like you have to let us in on every vacation you take and on everything that you're doing? I get the business side. I get the fact that your followers equate your coin, your money, right? But at some point, when do you just unplug yourself? This is why I'll always respect the Beyonce and the Jay-Z, right? They're not phased or caring about social media in that way. I can tell whoever Beyonce has running her Instagram page, whenever she says to put up certain things, they'll put up certain things, but then that's it. Beyonce's not following anybody. Beyonce is not doing any videos, Insta stories, Snap. She's not doing any of that. She's not. And it's not stopping her coin one bit. Granted, she's Beyonce. I don't even think Jay-Z has a social media like that, right? And they seem to be doing just fine. They came up during the old school times where artists were supposed to be mysterious. You weren't supposed to know much about their lives. You were just supposed to respect the art. And I respect the fact that they're still, in some ways, keeping that up. I'm glad that, because now we're in a time of relatability, and I do feel like relatability, some level of it, is important for all of us who are building brands or maintaining brands or whatever. And I feel like in their own way, they still are relatable. Beyonce will have that album that will also have extra video footage of what she went through, or, you know, she'll always give a certain moment that'll be uber vulnerable, right? That'll hold us over to the next moment. But I think she understands that fine line of sharing way too much, oversharing with the world, and not sharing anything ever at all. And so she's figured that out, and it still works for her. Jay-Z as well, you know. I understand that, you know, for someone like a Cardi B, her stardom has been off of her being relatable and sharing a lot of that's happening with her. But even she too is picking and choosing what she's sharing, right? Nobody knows what her baby looks like, as none of us should. You know what I'm saying? Like, so even she's like figuring out there's certain things that don't always need to be posted on social media for the world to hear, to see, to know. You know what I'm saying? And I respect that as well. There has to be some level of a balance. And I don't think we need to be celebrities to only understand that balance. I think every human who is on social media should have a balance with it, where you're not oversharing and where you're not feeling pressed to be on it all day, every day, all the time, and feeling the addictive part of it that makes you want to know what's going on with everybody. There's so many voyeurs out there, which is also considered to be some kind of a mental health situation. Voyeur is someone who never shares anything about their life or their world, but they're always on looking and watching what everybody they're following is doing. And to me, that's a little bit like unfair. I say this to my husband. I consider him to be a voyeur. He may have 2 pictures on his own page, right? Never posts anything, never shares anything, but he's watching what everybody else is doing, you know? And for me, I try to understand the psychology behind that. You know, I get it. You want a level of privacy, but if you want a level of privacy, why is it okay for you to be on everybody else's stuff? You know, to me, if you're going to be on social media, it should be some level of interacting and sharing you're doing as well. And so the voyeurs out there who just like to be on to just see what everybody else is doing, what everybody else is doing, who everybody else is with, I don't know how healthy that is in the grander scheme of things either, when you never share anything about you, but are always watching and viewing and reading what's going on with everybody else. I don't get it. Not that I'm trying to be judgmental about it, but it's just something I'm like, I don't really understand it. To me, social media is hence social, about being social and interactive. So yeah, I just, you know, wanted to come back on to encourage us all just to be mindful. And I'm very much so a part of the conversation. Been guilty of a lot of things that I've shared in the beginning of this vlog. As far as just, you know, us being aware of like how deep our mental state is involved in social media. If we're finding that we need to post everything going on, happening when we leave the house, if we feel like there's something exciting going on with our lives and we feel pressed to put it on our Insta stories or Snapchat or whatever, like let's ask ourselves why, you know, why is it that we need to document so much of what's going on in our world? Who do we want to know all this information? Who are we trying to impress? What are we trying to convey? You know, especially if it's rarely ever something empowering or encouraging. If it's just constantly photos of ourselves or videos of ourselves, what is it like? How is this benefiting the world? And I'm asking myself this question as well. You know, I've even, you know, made a conscious effort to kind of slow down a bit, more so on my personal pages with like selfies and stuff like that. Like, what is like, for what? What is it benefiting anybody at that point? You know, the only person who probably really wants to see my lovely face every day is my husband. And I wake up next to the man all the time, every day, right? So like, why do I need to plaster my face and have selfies all over the place, you know? So I ask myself these very questions, y'all, and challenge myself with this very topic as well. You know, I'm no better and have narcissistic moments, not ashamed to admit that, and do have moments in my life where I'm doing something pretty dope and cool and want other people to know, you know what I'm saying? And when I do it, I don't like how it feels because it's like, why did you feel the need to do that? You know what I'm saying? Been Business side is different. Like if I post something of me singing, that's to let people know your girl is working on music. This time you're gonna have to pay for it. Like, keep it locked and make sure you support that. Go get that when it comes out. I'm kind of letting teasers out so you know what's to come in a matter of months, right? But if I'm just like out and about on a date night, it's like, okay, Chanel, why did you feel the need to post this? If your answer is because Black love or love in general is never celebrated as much as I would like for it to be, cool. But if my answer is just, I'm just trying to stunt on these hoes, how is that cool? Was that necessary? And so I ask myself these questions as well, you know. So it's hard because I feel like even certain accomplishments I do have that I never put on social media, you know, sometimes it's like, but that's a great, amazing accomplishment that can empower and help somebody else, but I don't post about it because I feel like it could be coming off as being real, like, look at me. And I don't, you know, that's really not what I'm about at the end of the day. And so I just hate that social media has just screwed up the game. It has screwed up the game. I know people are making thousands and millions, but like, for us everyday folks, and even those making mad money, they're everyday people too, it just screws up the game of life, how our mentality, how we think of ourselves, like where our self-worth lies, like our self-esteem. Like it just, to me, it just messes with too many things. It can become an addiction. It can become a legitimate issue for some of our mental health. For some, it could cause depression or perpetuate it, right? You know, so I'm glad when I see high profile people like the Charlemagnes, like the Michelle Williams, like the Jennifer Lewises, like the Taraji P. Hensons using their platforms to speak out about mental health awareness. More people than not suffer from mental health challenges. I say this all the time to people. And I know that I still social work people all the time, even though I've been out that field for a few months, but it'll always be a part of me. Social work myself as well. But, you know, more of us than not suffer from some level of mental health needs. And sad to say, a lot of us don't even realize it. I'm just saying. You know, I'm starting to realize, I was talking to my mom the other day when I went to visit her and my dad. And my mom and I were talking for hours, something we always do. And I was just like, you know what, Mom? Sometimes, even with people I know and love, certain bizarreness that I see, I used to always chalk it up to quirks and chalk it up to, oh, that's just how this person is. These days, I'm like really trying to understand and dig a little deeper because I feel like, or I know that more people than not in the world do have some level of a mental health need, issue, challenge, however you want to phrase it. And so it's not always just, oh, that's just how this person always is. Oh, that's just them. Sometimes it really is something more to it than that, you know? So this is why I feel we all need to be careful with something as simple as social media, because sometimes you never know, it could trigger something you don't even know is within you that has always been there a little dormant, you know what I'm saying? Or certain stressful situations could bring certain things on, and social media realms may not help it either, you know? And so it's just something for all of us to be a little bit careful about, and not to isolate ourselves so much or get so used to always seeing people, especially the people who are in our lives, you know, through our phone screens all the time, but we're actually making a time out to have real life interactions. That's what's healthy. Like, you know how they say kids don't go outside and play anymore? Everybody's just on video, you know, playing video games, or on, these days, 12-year-olds are on Instagram as well. Like, we just have to be careful, y'all. I just wanted to come on just to kind of remind us all, myself included once again, to just really, really be careful with the slippery slope of social media, and understanding what our intentions are with what we are posting. You know, I get it. Every now and then, everybody deserves a moment to stunt a little. I get it. But like, do we always have to document everything that's happening in our lives all the time? You know, And just to ask ourselves if what we are posting, whatever we're using to represent ourselves, is it, and like F brands and all of that, put all that aside for now. But like just who you are as a person, are our pages representing us accurately? Is it depicting us truly? Are we actually trying to help in some small way make the world a better place with our social media pages? Or are we just, you know, just out here just I ask myself this question all the time, and more than ever, you know, I really want to be able to continue to shed light on mental illness. You know, I don't suffer from any mental illnesses. However, I've worked in the field for very long, and for so long working with a lot of teenagers, children, and families, parents, where mental health needs and challenges were serious issues. And so I get the sensitivity, the severity, I get it, and the fact that it's not anything to be ashamed of. Definitely to get help when needed, as needed. And I just love when people who have huge platforms speak out about it, because I know definitely in many communities it's something that's always been brushed under or swept under the rug, so to speak. And so more than ever lately, I've been, you know, trying to use my own personal social media and my public one for Complex Simplicity to kind of speak to that. Kind of always have, but you know, I do have a soft spot in my heart for that. I have family members who suffer from depression, family members who have even more severe mental health diagnoses. And so it's just something that'll always be some level of near and dear to me. And anything can happen with any one of us. You just never know. And so I just like to put that out there. So anyway, it's been about 41 minutes. I will get off your screen. Continue to rock out with your girl by going to complexsimplicity.com. Have some hopefully amazingly great things coming in 2019. Let me not say hopefully, I'm going to speak it into existence. We have some amazing greatness coming in 2019. Continue to follow at Move with Finesse, Finesse, so we can continue to kind of like empower one another just through movement and dance and that kind of stuff. Continue to go to complexsimplicity.com, as I said, to keep up with all the things your girl is building and doing and working on. And have a very happy and healthy Thanksgiving. Thank you so much. Until next time.